Now, before we get into the video, if you guys would like to join a group of like-minded individuals, people who are serious about making money in the short term and in the long term, then join my private group. Now, the results do speak for itself. In the last 2 years, I've approximately made about 1000x on all my calls, and these will continue to print in the coming bull run. Now, I also have a free Telegram group. All the links are in the description. Today, we'll be looking at some of these AI Deepin projects and ranking them from a 5 all the way to 100x and the ones that are not worth the investment. Now, this is a part 2. I have made a part 1. However, there's quite a few projects that I missed out. Now, this is a conservative list. Some of you meme boys might predict 100x for some of these projects or 50x. However, I am being conservative, on these price predictions. Some of these could potentially do way more than what I predict, but this is just a conservative list. Now, gaming, it is a Deepin gaming project. It has a docs team, which is quite unique in the Deepin narrative, and I think it can perform. Now, the only concerning thing about this project is the vesting schedule. By the start of next year, it will be around $44 million in market cap. So for this to do, a 20x, it will be close to $1 billion. They do have decent exchanges, so it is possible. It could go above $1 billion because it might pump with the Deepin narrative and the gaming narrative. So I do think this project does have the chance to do, a 20 to 30x. But because I am being conservative, I will put it in the 20x category. I think it is a good project. It will perform well. Now, Obspec is one of the Deepin projects. I think it will do well as well. The concept behind the project is quite good. They are being utilized. The only thing is the market cap is around 62 million. So for this to do like a 10x, it will be like 620 million. For this to do a 20x, it will be over $1 billion in market cap. They do lack some exchange listings. If they can get some good exchange listings, it could do like a 20 to 30x. But with the current situation, the way that it's looking right now, with the exchange listing it has now, I would only put it in the 20x category. I think it can still do a 20x. It is a good project. Now, IONET is one of the better projects on this list in terms of the Deepin narrative. I think it's one that's going to get utilized. A lot of institutions are going to invest into this project, as it is one of the most legit Deepin projects in the crypto world. And I do think it will perform. They already got a bunch of top tier 1 listings already. Binance, Crypto.com, Coinbase. I can see this doing around anywhere between a 10 to 20x this cycle. Now, Vector Space, it's been around since the last cycle. Old project. They haven't done anything significant. I just don't think it's worth the investment. If you look at the chart, it hasn't been performing at all, and that is always a sign that these projects are not worth the investment. Now, Cubic is a good project. Is the same owner of IONET. IOTA. It is one of the better projects, in terms of fundamentally and the utility behind the project. The only thing they lack is exchange listings. Now, I think exchange listings is on the roadmap. It is like $250 million in market cap approximately. For this to do like a 10x, it is 2.5 billion. I think it is achievable for a 10x. I think it can do anywhere between a 10 to 15x, depending on what exchange listings they get. But the fundamentals behind the project is good. The only thing that it lacks is exchange listings. It has some terrible exchanges. Now, Fluent is one of the better projects, in the Deepin narrative. It is lower in cap, but the only concerning thing about this project is I would only hold it to about April, May next year, because after that, the unlocks come in. 50% of the circulating supply gets unlocked in 1 year. So it is going to be suppressed, very badly. This is why, if AI and Deepin runs it like January, February times, it would be worth the investment. But if it doesn't, then I would consider not buying this project, because realistically, if 50% of the tokens has been unlocked in 1 year, that is going to suppress the price. But it all depends on when AI and Deepin runs realistically. I would put this in a 10 to 20x category. I think it is possible. But if it runs before, I think you can do anywhere between a 30. I think 30x is possible. They've got decent exchanges as well. Now, Based AI is one of the better projects on this list fundamentally, but in terms of gains, they have some of the worst exchange listings. I think a 5 to 10x is possible. Now, this is, like I said, fundamentally, this is a very good project. They use a very similar technology as Tau, and they aim to solve the data problem, which is quite massive. That is much needed in AI. The data problem in AI is very, it needs to be solved pretty much, and these guys do aim to solve it. Now, they don't have a mainnet at the moment. That is one of my concerns about this project. Once the mainnet goes live and they get some decent exchange listings, I think it can perform. One of the things I don't like is the fact that you have to buy or stake a meme coin in order to access this token. People are lazy in crypto. They're not going to go through all the hassle to buy a token, when it doesn't even have decent exchange listings. So, unless they solve all that stuff out, I just don't think it's worth right now. 5 to 10x is possible though. The market cap is quite high. The circulating supply is really good. It's like $200 million in market cap with 100% in circulation. That is always a good sign. But with no mainnet, no docs team, you have to stake a meme coin in order to buy it. No real good exchanges. Right now, I just don't think it's worth the investment. Now, DEAI, which is Zero Labs, it is a very fundamentally good project. They aim to be the Ethereum of AI. Now, the only concerning thing is, like I said, they lack exchange listings. They have some terrible exchanges. And the market cap, the vesting isn't that hard. It wasn't that great. With the start of next year, the market cap is going to be like 100 million. So this has to go reach the billions of dollars in market cap in order to do like a 20x. Now the AI and Deepin narrative is kind of saturated. There's quite a few different projects. I think the best ones is the one they're going to perform. But with DEAI, I just don't think it's worth the investment. Unless if you're looking for anything significant, I don't think it's possible. But I think a 10x for this project is achievable. Anything more than that, I just don't think is going to happen with the exchange listings they have currently. Now, OGPU, I would say it's a good project. However, they are only on Uniswap. It's kind of like Claw AI. They are being utilized. People are mining it. The market cap isn't that big. If they can get an exchange listing, it can perform. However, if they don't, then I just don't see this project performing that well. But the fundamentals behind the project is decent. The website looks good. People are mining it. From this point on, maybe like a 20x is possible. Maybe even a 30x is possible, as long as they get an exchange listing. But I would put it, in the 20x category, as I am being conservative. Ather games, very similar to, I would say, gaming. They like gaming and Deepin. They've got some very good exchange listings. They are not on Binance yet, so they could potentially get that at some point. The market cap is quite high. I would put it anywhere between a 10 to 20x. I think it is possible for this project. It is one of the better ones on the list. Newal AI, not really good. Uniswap, terrible. Got manipulated by a few groups. As an investment, I just don't think it's worth. It just looks average, to be fair. The only thing that made this pump was a few groups manipulated it and did buy alerts on it. Now, Sinus AI is built on Solana, which is quite unique. I like projects that are built on Solana, because Solana's having rumors of an ETF now. So if it does get ETF, the projects that are on Solana will pump. It is AI, AI trained to earn. So what you do is they tell you to basically generate an image or something, and then you generate it, put tags on there, and then you can earn a little bit of money. This is what this project is. If you can earn decent money while utilizing it, then it will perform. People will use it. The market cap is quite low. They don't have the best exchange listings, but I do think, it's not a bad project. I think it still perform. Maybe like a 10 to 20x, I think it's possible. Maybe this is a conservative lift, like I said. Some of these projects could do way more. I think a lot of these projects will do a lot more than what I'll put them on the list. For example, gaming might do more. OGPU could do a bit more. This is one of the projects that's been holding up fairly well, and it has been pumping while the entire sector has been dumping. So that's always a good sign. And Spectral AI, they've got some very good backers, the likes of Circle, the likes of some of these other big institutions. The only thing with this project is a little bit of a gamble, because, I think like 30 to 40% of the circulating supply is catered to early investors. Now, they get their tokens sometime next year. So it all depends on when AI pumps. If AI pumps before that, it can do well. But if it pumps sometimes mid next year with the unlocks, I just don't think this will be worth the investment, because realistically, the market cap is already high. It's not a low market cap coin. And in terms of returns, I could see this doing around a 10 to 20x. It all depends on, I just don't think it's worth the gamble. There's just better projects than this. It's a AI coding program. The concept is quite good. The backers is quite good. The only thing is a gamble, because if early investors hold 40% or 30% of the supply, realistically, and these guys are up a decent amount on the investment currently, if the price don't drop and these guys start unlocking their tokens, I think it's March next year or April next year, and if AI don't pump before that, or if AI pumps in the summer, let's say, then this just won't be worth the investment, because all those early investors are going to suppress the price. I don't like taking a gamble. There's better projects out there like IoTech, AI Tech, AGI, way better than this project. So I just don't think, you don't need to over diversify at this stage of the market, because a lot of projects do rug in the bull run. So I like to only hold the best projects in the AI and Deepin sector. Now, Spectral AI, they aim to kind of do like predictions, predicting the markets. The team is Docs, which is quite unique and is built on Solana. It does lack the exchange listings. However, I think centralized exchanges is on their list. Now, as an investment, there is way better projects than this. Predicting the markets using AI is not a new unique feature. There's a bunch of other projects that do the same thing. So I just wouldn't buy this project. I just wouldn't touch it. I just don't think it's worth the investment. Now, Nasana, in terms of AI, it is one of the best ones. They've already got tier 1 exchange listings. The team is kind of doxed, semi-doxed. They've got their names on there, but they don't have no images or anything. But as a project, I think this will do really well. I'll put this in the 30x category. They've got a bunch of tier 1 exchange listings. They're going to get one more tier exchange listings. I think they hinted one recently of a tier 1 exchange listing. It is a pretty good project in my opinion. Dmtr, this is one of the ones that I'm up like 100x on. And there's a bunch of early investors, in this project. Another 10x for us would be like 1,000x. And they're gonna keep this they will keep the price suppressed, because if you're up 100x already, like 80, 90x already, another 10x is like almost 1,000x. That's a lot of money that's going to be dumping behind this project. Now, it is unique in the AI sector. There's not many other projects like it. This is why it has performed really well. But the market cap is too high. Maybe like another 10x is possible. 5 to 10x is possible for this project. With all those early investors, I think the price will get suppressed for this project. It could do more, but it's going to be very hard. They don't even have the best exchange listings either. So it will struggle in that sense. Now, AI agents do perform really well. We've already seen from AGI how well AI agents can perform. Now, AIX is not a bad project. It's pretty decent. It can perform. Anywhere between a 10 to 20x, anywhere between a 10 to 30x, I would say is reasonable for this project if they can get some decent exchange listings. A lot of these Deepin projects, they launch during the narrative hype. They come out with 100% in circulation. They are short-term investments. These are not long-term investments. You hold them to the narrative, you take profits, and you move on. Most of these are not going to be around the next cycle, because any project that launches short-term during the narrative hype just means that they're only going to be here short-term. That's all that it means. They do have 100% in circulation to attract more investors. This is quite common in a lot of scammy projects. Now, but crypto is full of scams and they pump. So, we're here to make money at the end of the day. So it doesn't really matter. I'll put this, anywhere between a 10 to 20x category. Now, this is a conservative list. Like I said, some of these projects will do more than what I've predicted on this list. But I like to be conservative. When I invest, I like to put at least, I like to put a decent amount of money in there. So I don't have to wait all the way to 100, 50x, 100x's. As long as I get like a 20, 30, 40x, I'll be all right. I'll be happy. That's a good amount of money. If you put anything decent, in a coin, you don't need to hold all the way to 100x, because a lot of these are already higher market cap. So to get 100x on them is not going to be easy, as the sector is already saturated. But if you guys like the video, drop a like, comment, and subscribe. I do appreciate everyone that watched this channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one.